Hello, hello. Hi friends, I'm going to be making a card today, like this. So I used a stencil and I looked it up. I found a reel on Facebook and it showed me this technique. So I thought I'd give it a try and it actually works really cool. It's called, excuse me, cyanotype. But it's a photographic kind of effect that works with light or something. Anyway, it is typically blue, which is why it's called cyanotype. But anyway, it's similar kind of effect. So you guys can tell me if you've heard of this kind of technique called something else, because it really isn't the same. It's just kind of the same idea. And so anyway, I'm going to give it a try and I'm going to make another card today and show you how it works. So I'm just going to go ahead and flip this around. I don't see anybody joining on. Oh, I got a frog in my throat. I was fine until I started, of course. I'm going to flip this around and we will get started. There's the little button right there. We got to zoom it in, but that's probably too much. Let me see if I can, oh, come on. Now that I zoomed it in, I can't. There we go. Okay, I think that should be good enough. Let's hope that that works. I'm going to pull it up on my iPad so I can see how it looks while I'm working. And I'm going to turn the volume down on that. Let's see. There we go. Oh. Hopefully that's going to go away. Okay, so let me know when you pop on, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get started because I'm sure there'll be lots of people watching in the replay. So to do this, I took some, this is just actually cheap watercolor paper, but I took some watercolor paper and I just laid down a coat of what, it's just one color. And this is the brush that I used, just kind of a nice flat brush. And I just went back and forth. I did one coat, let it dry, another coat, let it dry. So I did that. There's probably 4 coats on here. So you can see it's cheap paper because there's a little, little bit there that wouldn't cover. So of course that's the end I started on. So I ended up doing the whole thing. So I'm just gonna bring that back a little bit. I did heat dry it in between some of the layers just because I didn't have the patience to wait, because if you don't, then it's just going to blend and it's not really going to build up the same. So you do want to have, I think, a decent amount of watercolor on your paper. So just make sure. I'm going to go on this side and I'm going to start. So I see somebody's popped on there, so say hi. Hopefully my comments will be working and I'll actually be able to respond. So the other thing that you need is a sponge. So this is a makeup sponge. It needs to be like more of a dense sponge because it needs to be fairly wet. Because what we're going to do is we're going to, excuse me, remove. So like you do with Distress Oxides, when you put water on it, you remove it because it's watercolor. It does the same thing. So this is one of the stencils I should mention from the new Mr. and Mrs. collection from David from Elizabeth Craft Designs. This is my favorite stencil. I love this one. Oh, that frog will just not go away. I'm sorry about that. Oh my. Anyway, okay. So I've just got 2 little bowls of water here just in case, because this is, you can see this is the one that I used on the previous sample. It's going to get lots of watercolor on it, which, you know, makes sense because I'm going to pick it up. I'm just going to double check that again because I can't remember, did I do this twice? I think I did. So I'm going to try to avoid going right directly to the edge there so that I can shift it over. So I'm just going to get this wet. I'm going to make sure that it's fairly wet, and then I'm just going to dab at this. So just like Distress Oxides, as you get it wet, you can see the color is starting to disappear. And this one, actually, this color is working way better than the green that I did on the sample. it's almost coming off completely. I probably shouldn't rub it, but I am. And then I'm just gonna rinse it out because again, you don't want to put it back, right? You need to pick it up. So it would have been easier if I sprayed my stencil. Oh, look, I'm going way too far over, even though I said I wasn't going to do that. Ooh, be more careful. So there we go. So that actually really is picking up really nice. So this is definitely much, now maybe it's because I let it dry more when I did my first sample. I think I did this step almost right away. So maybe it wasn't dry enough. You probably shouldn't rub it because it could be pushing it underneath. And I'm just gonna, I grabbed a paper towel. Just wanna make sure I don't make a mess. And hold that down, there we go, okay. I just wanna make sure that my stencil's down because the paper's kind of warped. Oh, that was way too much water. I just squeezed it when I did that. I'm going to end up removing all of the watercolor off of there. Sorry, I was saying something and then I lost track of what I was saying. Okay, almost done. Then I'm going to pick it up and we're going to see how it looks and see if it worked and didn't all go underneath. Let's hope. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? That is quite the reveal. So that really, really did a nice job. Let me just dab this. Yes, that is great. Okay, so let me see if I can line this up because I'm pretty sure I did. Still got a bit of a wipe. Right, that's the way I had it. Yep. Because I must have there. Oh yeah, yeah. There. So now I can go like that. So it does line up, which is really cool. It gives you a lot more versatility to make bigger patterns. Because even though this is a art journal collection, you have to remember that you can use these pieces for whatever you want. I am so impressed with how well this is working with this color. Like I said, the green, I had to put a fair amount of effort into it to get it to pick up. And this is picking up really nicely. Now it could be that my sponge is getting a little bit dirty, so maybe I need to flip it around. I don't know. I think I'm not going to do too much more. I'm going to reposition the stencil so I can get the top piece there. But I definitely don't need to do the whole thing because our card, this card is only a 5x7. Okay. So let's put them up. Did I miss a spot there? No, I think once I reposition it, I think I'll be good. Oop, there we go. Oh, I love this. I am so impressed with that because, like, see the difference? Like, it did pick it up, but it's not as dramatic a difference. Okay, so I'm just gonna, oh, better wipe this. You don't want to transfer water back underneath it. I think I just blocked there. Okay, so I was like over here, right there. That back in the right spot. Okay, let's give this another try. Finish up the bit. Okay, there we go. It does really remove a lot more if I rub it. It didn't seem, oh, no. I just dropped my sponge way under my table. Whoops. That's gonna need to be clean now. See how swollen it is because of the water. This is looking fantastic. So pop a hi in the comments if you are joining in, or an emoji or something. Hopefully my comments are working. Okay, look at that. I am loving this. Give that stencil a bit of a wipe, but even if it dries, it'll come clean once I wet it again, so that's fine. I'll set that out of the way because I definitely don't want to spill water everywhere. Oh, that's terrible, my voice. So there we go. Look at that. So I don't know. Is it wet? I'm going to just give it a quick little dry just to make sure. Because I'm going to tear it, so I want it to tear nicely. If it's damp, it may not tear that well. I'm going to dry on this side and try and bring that shape back. If you didn't know, it's this is pretty thick though, but if you dry on both sides, it tends to flatten it out a little bit better. You can even see it bending back. Okay, that's good. Doesn't seem to take, this is new. I just got that, so I've never had this kind of heat gun before, and I'm pretty impressed. It really dries quick, and it's much quieter. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, so this step I forgot to do initially, so I'm going to do that now. I'm going to stamp, again, tone on tone. So you see that I did stamp some of the script on here. Sorry, but it was after the fact. So I'm going to remember and do it now. I'm going to do a little test spot. So this ink color is almost, I think, identical. And it might be a little bit darker than I want. So we're just going to check it. So I'm just going to, I'm not putting this on a block because, yeah, no, I think that's good. Yeah, I think that's good. So this stamp is from, again, the new collection, the Mr. and Mrs. collection. So this is CS 401 laced. Hopefully that's the right name. Okay, so I'm not going to put it on a block because I just want it more piecemeal, you know. So I'm going to just do that. So that's what I'm looking for. Excellent. Don't fall, don't fall. Just get that on there in a few places. I'm gonna do that again. Just get the shadow of it. Okay, I think that's good. I think that's good. So set that aside, give this a quick wipe. It's already stained. I don't like it when they're stained. It doesn't really matter, I just don't like it. That's metallic. I was doing another project using some metallic ink and it just does not come off. Okay. Now I prepared my card base. So I'm just using, oh, there's a bit of fluff. I'm just using a white 5x7 card base. And then I cut a piece of craft cardstock. So I just trimmed it down, not quite a 1/4 inch, more like that would be 3/16, right? Because that's, yeah. So 3/16. Let me see if I can pull it up nice and close so you can see. So just shy, just a tad more than 4 3/4, and then same 6 3/4, but 1/16 longer. So just a tad bit. It doesn't have to be that. You can just go to 4 3/4 and 6 3/4. But I just wanted this white to be a little bit narrower. So I'm just going to go ahead and attach that to my card base. I like the ATG for stuff like this because it's just faster. There we go. I don't know. Sometimes I think my trimmer is not the straightest. Okay, and then this is what we're going to add next, but I want to tear the edges. So because that has the solid border, it makes it easy for me to just tear that off because I do not want a solid border. So just, if I hold it here, it doesn't make the white as thick, but I do want the white to show, so. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just measuring this. I'm just going to measure it by hand. Might need to, I got a little bit uneven. I go here. Let me see. It's a little bit uneven. I'm going to just take a little bit more off of here. So see if I can do that without making it go too much the other way. Now it looks completely different. There, that's not bad. Okay, so we're gonna go to about there. Hopefully I can do this nice and straight. Well, you know, straight-ish. I don't want a straight line. It'd be easier if I had my my mat with the grid lines, but oh well, that's okay. It would also be easier. I'd seen in the reel that I watched, the sample that they had used, they had actually scored it and then tore it. It was still a rough edge, but it was, the score was like the guide. Yeah, see, I knew that was happening, so I just got to get rid of that. There, how's that looking? I still need to get some more of this off. A little bit more. And I think that's hopefully. Oh, I did a much better job of the first one. When I was doing this, it was it worked quite easily. Now see, I'm very close to the edge, so now it's not working nicely. So maybe next time I will score it. Okay, I got it now. That piece doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to go with that. Okay, just leave it. And then the top. I mean, the whole point is you want it to be rough, right? So, okay. So we got that. And then I'm going to measure it to here. It also rips easier this way because of the grain, I guess, of the paper. It's much easier in that direction. There. Yeah, actually, I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so now for this one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue it down as well. But again, I'm going to use my ATG gun, and you see I'm not going to go to the edges because I do not want the edges to be stuck down firmly. I want them to be kind of ruffly like that. So it looks like it's just an old piece of paper sitting there. There. Okay, so that can be put away and used again for another project. And then I already cut out this die, so again, from craft cardstock. same collection. This is the new Mr. and Mrs. collection. It is a gentleman's timepiece, and it comes with the die to cut out the clock, pocket watch clock, and it comes with a backer. So for this, I'm not using the backer because I want you to be able to see through it. Comes with a couple of nice sentiments, as well as hands for the clock. So these are the hands. I have them pre-cut out as well. But then it has these fancy ones that you can use for something else. They're quite big to put on here. I mean, you could, but they're just a fun little extra. So that is that set. And then I'm just going to hopefully get a grip on that. And I finally got my glue gun, my glue press. So very happy about that, but I am still getting used to it. Especially this is a really big piece, and I like to have all of those little pieces with a tiny bit of glue on them. So this, it like jumps around. Anyway, there, maybe that's a better way to use it. Like I said, I'm still getting used to it. I watched some videos that were pretty helpful though. But yeah, this is a big piece to have to use this on. So I gotta be kind of quick or it's gonna start to dry before I actually get to it all. Okay, so that, but it's definitely much happier with this than just the bottle of glue, because it's easy to just drop this back into the holder, and then I don't have to worry about the tip getting clogged and the pin getting all bent out of shape. That was always happening to me. Oop, that's probably more than I need on there. Oh, this is fiddly. But because it's card, it's going to be stuffed in an envelope. I want to make sure it's stuck down and not going to be getting caught as it's being pushed into the envelope. I got to remember to get those very, very thin edge pieces too. I missed them on the first one, which wasn't really a big deal. So you can just go back after. But it's easier to get them now. There. Make sure I get it in a few spots. Oh, I can't even hit it. Yep. Come on, hold it still. It's not working very well. Okay, good enough. Okay. And then, like I did on this other one, I'm just gonna put it a little bit askew because I think I like it. Oh my goodness. Okay, whatever. I made a little mistake because I have to put a brad in there, so I'm just gonna pull this off because this will pull off easy. So that was an oopsie. Although it might actually look better this way. I forgot the hands and the brad, and the hands apparently I never actually cut out. I did not cut out the hands, so I just have to run this through my machine real quick. So just a little piece of scrap black cardstock, which I have loads of. I just gotta run that through my machine really quick and get those hands. So luckily my machine is just right behind me here. So I think you can still hear me as I run this through here. There we go. Okay. So there we go. That was easy enough. Off of there. Whoops. I forgot that's good. It's got adhesive on it. Okay. Put that back or I'll lose it. Okay, and then you can just put like whatever time you want, but it's nice to have a because I'm going to put a sentiment here. I like the angles of the hands this, so I want to put the bigger one down first because I'm pretty sure on a clock that's how they're attached, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna have my hand over here, so that's about 1/4 2, so it's always best to try and make sure that it's like a real time. There we go. Get this little guy. I think that's upside down. No. Probably more adhesive than I need there. Okay, and then we're gonna go get that lined up nicely. A little bit more. Come on. It's a little bit awkward because my paper's stuck. Okay, and then I can just use my, it's stuck. Okay, just use my piercing tool there. Poke a hole in there. And then I had these little brads. I had some other colored ones. These happen to be close to my heart, but I know you can get these anywhere. They look like little buttons. And I just thought they were kind of nice instead of just a typical round brad, that these were nice. So just stick that through. I'm going to turn it because I am picky that way so that the holes of the brad are horizontal before I bend it. But I can always turn them after. Okay, and then I'm going to poke those down. I actually think it did work better with it being this already being stuck down. Okay, and now I can put this back on here. There we go. Now you could like do some splatter maybe with some black paint or something, but I have some faceted black gems. And then these are some sentiments from previous set, which I forgot which one. Let me just grab it. I just want to make sure. This was I think the last release. Is it this one? No. It's not that one either. Oh, I mustn't have it put away yet. I don't know where it is. Maybe it's actually sitting here. Because I kept it out. I have no idea. Anyway, this is one of the Journal Phrases stamps and dies. So it wasn't that long ago, but it actually has some that really suit this well. Since I have a little clock on there, I have one about time, future. About this one, I think I kind of like that one. What did I use on the other one? So the other one, oh, I put the best things take time. So I used a time themed one on there. And I typically just do birthday cards or anniversary cards. So I always like to try and make sure that I have something that's suitable for a birthday. And I really think I like that. So I'm just going to grab some foam to put on the back of that. So I'm just going to cut some strips. So I'll pop that sentiment up. Always like a nice popped up sentiment. This is not coming off. Come on. There we go. And then once this is down, then I can work on my gems. So I'm going to go there. Make sure I'm straight as I can be. It's hard with the wavy edge to make sure that you're lined up there. It might have actually been nice to stamp the script on the clock face. That might have been kind of cool too. So then I'm just going to add these gems. So I'm just going to put them in the same place. So I don't have the big one like I did on the other one. So I'm going to go like that. I'm not going to push them down. I always like to wait until I am sure with my placement. And these little tiny ones can be tricky. There, that's good. I played around with the placement on the first card, so you know what? Look what I did. Oops. Let's try that again. Oh my. I'm gonna put a little bit more. Here, we're gonna make it permanent this time. But I've picked that up and off too many times, so I want to make sure that my adhesive's still gonna hold. Okay, let's do this properly. Yes, this is the correct way now. Probably people watch the video and say, oh no, look what she's doing. But I caught it, and luckily that came up. It is not the first time, I will tell you that. Okay, now my card is done. There we go. So I hope you really enjoyed that. I did. I'm really happy with that. It'll be fun to play around with that same technique, maybe with some different stencils and different colors. Definitely lots of those to choose from in David's new collection. But yeah, anyway, have a great day, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye-bye.